Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Yai da dai da dai dai bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good to be together. It's a Kaya service, a nice, informal, casual, meditative, spiritual, peaceful, calm moment for us to enjoy and welcome Shabbat together. So, as always, when we come together, let's create community. Find someone you're here with, give a shout out, introduce yourself, let us know you're here, where you're praying from, wherever that may be, and help us create our community. Of course, if you want to follow prayers along in the prayer book, you can download it through our YouTube link, through our website as well. But it's going to be just a peaceful meditative service. Some of the prayers will broadcast as well on the screen as they come in our prayers, in our moments, in our peacefulness, in our calm. And some you can follow along or just hum or sing or do whatever. Hey, if you have candles now, please get them. Let's create Shabbat together in all our homes. So you can kindle the candles with Rabbi, with us, and illuminate this in your life. You know, we tell our preschoolers, as Rabbi did this morning, every child gets his or her own candle to remind them that they make the world brighter. Our world is filled with more light because they are a part of it. Well, our world is filled with more light because you are a part of it, because you're in it as well. And as you kindle these candles, take a selfie with them, take a picture of it, and send it our way so we can see how you're enjoying Shabbat with us as well. Let's join with Cantor and Rabbi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של
We'll conclude our services with the Kiddush. Oh, Rabbi wants to now? We're going to conclude with the Kiddush, Rabbi. But if you want to drink your wine throughout services, that's very much a Shir Shalom thing to do, and that's okay as well. And so we want to begin our service with some prayers, with some thoughts, and with some reminders of who we are and what matters most in our world. And I found this prayer from American Values, Religious Voices, and it's a prayer for our country. And one thing you're going to hear us talking about tonight is the value of kindness, the message of kindness, the idea of Olam Chesed Yibaneh. And as we embark on this week of our election, how important will it be? Is it right now for us to hold on to that? And this poem says, this prayer, every inch of America is sacred from sea to shining sea. There's much to be done in our time, the sort of hard work on which God smiles because it's done for the sake of dignity and well-being of all God's creatures. Together, let us work to preserve and make manifest the values upon which our democracy was founded. The task of all people of faith to call governing authorities to fulfill God's purpose of bringing about justice, mercy, and peace. Individually and as a nation, may we heed our obligations to each other as we navigate the tensions of building a just society rather than politics of divisiveness. May we move our country toward politics of empathy. May we use our power well so we do great things for all God's creatures, all those made in God's image who yearn for an equal place at America's table. If we do all this, may grace and peace be ours in abundance. May we be a beacon and a blessing to the world. Olam chesed yibaneh. Our world is sustained and rests on kindness.
Olam chesed yibaneh, tadadai yadai, yadadai dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, tadadai yadai, yadadai dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, tadadai yadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, tadadai yadai. I will build this world for love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, God will build this world from love. Olam chesed yibaneh,
Kindness is that value that all of us appreciate, that can resonate with us, but that we can consciously bring more into our lives, into our world. So let's think about that for a moment. Take a deep breath, breathe in God's gift to each and every one of us, breathe out our gift to this very world. Breathe in all the goodness that we can think about, that we have experienced this past week. Breathe out the goodness that we can bring into our world. As you meditate, maybe close your eyes. Create this moment in time for yourself to notice a little more keenly that which really is an opportunity for us to create. Read something this week about how many individuals see doom in our world right now, see dark times ahead, particularly if the other side were to win. I'm reminded of something friend a friend shared with me as well this week, that our country, the values of our country, are greater than one person, no matter who that might be. And they're values that we need to continue holding on to and bringing into our world. And kindness is a part of that. I'm sure each of us can find a simple thing this past week when someone shared a kindness with us, maybe a word, maybe an open door, maybe a thoughtful exchange, maybe a nice note. Maybe it was something we read or heard, a story that resonated, that told us of the goodness that's within, not just ourselves, but around us, that exists and will always exist. Our faith tells us it will always be there, but we have to notice it. Shabbat is a chance for us to remind ourselves that it is there and we can notice it and point it out. We can recognize it as a blessing. And now, what about the kindness that we've brought to our world this week? The goodness we've done for one another. Again, in a word or a gesture, in a note, in something we've shared. Simplest of things. Sometimes those simple things are what begin a movement, a reminder of what matters most. As that opening prayer in our country, the reminder that every single human is created b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God, and has the opportunity to fulfill those blessings. So as we pray tonight, as we enjoy our services tonight, as we meditate tonight, keep thinking of that. Hold on to that. Think through your week behind and the week ahead and the kindness that you will do to make our world even better. And so with that, we come together as a community and we join in our prayers as we start with our call to worship our Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום והתכוננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Rabbi Moskowitz just mentioned that idea of each one of us being created B'Tselem Elohim, being created in the image of God. And it reminds me of our program that we have with our seventh graders, our Madrechim programs at Sunday school, where the theme for the year is actually that same idea of B'Tselem Elohim, the idea of living in the image of God. And through the course of the year, we take time to learn about Jewish theologians, their beliefs on God, who God is, what God does, what God did. And this past week, we did what we call our God Mall, where our seventh graders got to go and choose from different stores different God concepts, all of them Jewish, but all of them just a little bit different. And the beauty of that program that we have is that our seventh graders get to go through and realize that there's not just one Jewish view of what God is in our world today. That Jewish theologians understand that those words that we just sang of the Shema, that we believe in one God, that God is seen and understood in so many different ways. And sometimes we disagree with other Jews about our understanding of God, and that that's okay. Some believe that God started off the world and let us go, that we're now in control, watching over it. Some look at things and they say that God is an equal partner with us, or that we're equal partners with God in maintaining that world now. And some still rely on God to take control, to take care of things. This prayer that we are about to sing together, the words of the Hashkivenu, as the rabbis wrote it, it was with the idea that God maintained that control over our lives. And that when we needed something, that we should turn to God, that we should ask for it. I invite you to close your eyes and just listen to the translation of these words for a moment. What we're asking of God, what we're asking, how we're asking God to intercede in our lives. Say, let us lie down in peace, O God, and permit us to wake up in the security of knowing that we are safe and loved. Be a shield around us and keep enemies, disease, violence, homelessness, and hunger far away from those we love. Keep us safe in the shadow of your wings, for you are our protector. God, you show compassion and mercy when you permit us the experience of seeing the shelter of your peace. Give to your people Israel and the world a time of peace. These words, this petition, what if all these words, what if God heard them tonight? God responded. That tonight when we went to bed, that all the pressure that we feel, all the anxiety, all the stress, the challenges that we experience and that we see in our world, they just disappeared. They weren't there. That we could fall asleep peacefully tonight and rest throughout the night. What if we woke up tomorrow morning knowing that all of our loved ones are safe, were healthy, there was no concern and they were taken care of? What would that world look like? As we sing these words, that's our prayer. We hope that God hears us and responds.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu Shalom. I come with joy, I come with hope, I come with vision and intention. I come with prayer, I come with love, with searching and sacred questions. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu L'shalom. Ha'anidinu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
And in preparation for the Amidah, take a moment for our own private meditations. Taking a moment to share our own private conversation with God, hoping that these few minutes of prayer, these moments, bring us closer to what our life should be and to its truest meaning. Please pray silently.
The thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering the song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day. למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
In the midst of our prayers, our thoughts turn to those in our community in need of healing and strength, friends, family, those who are connected with. And by mentioning their names, we connect with one another. We help one another, and we remind ourselves the importance of reaching out to each other when we hear that someone's ill, someone's in need, someone is a part of our community, and that we care about them as well. Mishiberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov, Imutenu Sar Rivka Leah Rachel. Hu Yivarech et Holy, merciful God, who's blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. Send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness, anxiety, especially as friends and family we think of at this time. Alyssa Ioto, Eugene Blakeman, Larry Burke, Joel Bussell, Grace Geraldine Carafelli, Karen Kasman, Linda Cunningham, Ezra Chaim and Deborah, Danny Ellman, Gary Fishman, Adele Giba Band, Kathy Gilman, Paul Goldberg, Barbara Goldman, Sylvia Goldman, Sandy Gorosh, Batya Batpesha Panina, Charles Gross, Sherry Gutter, Hank Heiser, Rebecca Horn, Michael Ingber, Sarah Jacobson, Serafina Coffrin, Alyssa Coltono, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Emily Levin, Nina Livieva, Francisco Leva, Zoe Marcus, Beth Margolin, Joyce Maza, Patricia McCauley, Len Meiji, Ellie Meisler, Perry Moss, Lori Moss, Scott Miles, Rabbi Robert Ozenchuk, Eric Perez, Leslie Pillings, Tommy Rivers Puzzi, Miriam Lamb, Donald Esther, Barbie Ryder, Jody Richmond, Alan Rosen, the St. Amman family, Amy Selmanoff, Diane Silverstein, Suzanne Zeleznik Smith, Jerry Starn, Sunday Taylor, Chaim Shmuel Ben Noach, Kocha Ben Noach, Steve Weston, as well as all those battling the coronavirus, both at home and in the hospital. The 20,095 American troops who've been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to date, and all the names in our hearts. Baruch Atah Narafel Cholim. Blessed are you, God, who gives strength to those in need.
Blessing and let us
in addition to our prayers of healing during these times with COVID, we ask that God's partners in healing also be blessed. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick, physicians and nurses and orderlies, technicians and home health aides, EMTs and pharmacists, hospital social workers, respiratory therapists, and mental health professionals. And bless those who continue to go above and beyond, putting the needs of others before their own, navigating the unfolding dangers of the world and tending to those who they can help. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their going out. Ease their fear, sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring health. Help them know again a time when they can create breath without fear. Bless the sacred work of their hands, and may this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days. We continue with the words of our concluding prayers with the words of the Aleinu, which can be found on page 41 in our prayer books.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
The Kaddish may be understood as a praise for the gift of life, love, and thought. It is a reminder of all that came before us. It is a testament to the psalmists and sages, the poets and prophets of our people, who made our life and our faith possible. It is a celebration of our past, our present, and our future. Though it never mentions death, it is a reminder of all the friendships that we have cherished and the memories we have shared. Even in the most painful times, the Kaddish is our statement of faith. And so on this Shabbat, we think of those friends and family who have been taken from us in these most recent days. Ushiva, Shloshim, and Shana we mark. Margie Wilner, William Zucker, Molly Sinkoff, Bina Camden, Ruben Stahl, Victor Kislak, Ellen Knight, Ruth Rubenstein, Sheila Kohlenberg, Seymour Freed, Ida Ruth Landsberg, Fanny Zuckerman, Susan Averbuck, and the 2,420 Americans in our armed forces lost in Afghanistan and the surrounding areas to date. And to their names, we have those whose yahrzeits we mark, those of whose anniversary of passing we lovingly commemorate. Bruce Abrams, Ronald Barnett, Samuel Barr, Theodore Begley, Yuri Benkenstadt, Harry Bennett, Pauline Berkowitz, Saul Blackman, Louise Blank, Ruth Blau, Helen Bluestone, Marilyn Baller, Ida Bronstein, Daniel A. Cohen, Iris Chikowski, the victims of Congregation Dor Chadash, Andrea Dubrinsky, Dr. Milton Elford, Jack Fashion, Murray Fagelson, George Fisher, Calman Gold, Arthur Goldberg, Doris Goodman, Maxwell Joseph Greenspan, Sarah Greenspan, Bertha Gulbis, Kazriel Gulbis, Cantor David Gutman, Trudy Hertzberg, Sam Hoffman, Kenneth Joel Itzkovitz, Sharon Katzman, Hyman K., Ganira Kiramova, William Klegman, Mayor Coltano, Dr. Thomas Kovan, Marilyn Landsat, Henry Lewis, Fred Linden, Pauline Josephine Lurie, Berta Midas, Charles Miller, Larry Miller, Yetta Miller, Robert Malloy, Ida Moran, Francis Naines, Nate Ober, Daniel Pivos, Jacob Polk, General Yitzhak Rabin, Val Resnick, Saul Rich, Marion Robinson, Edith Rosenberg, Cecile Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, Neil Rosenthal, Joshua Saul Ross, Emmeline Sampson, Richard Siegel, Lillian Slamovitz, Shirley Ruth Steinberg, John Stifter, Ida Weinstein, Charles Weiss, Mark Wiesel, victims of the Tree of Life Ora L'Simcha congregation, as well as all the names in our hearts and those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. Do we join together in the immortal words of the Mourner's Kaddish as found on page 46 of our prayer books or on our screen. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'amad vrach kirtei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomachon uv'chayei b'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Omei Amaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei D'Kedusha V'richu Le'elan min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran ve'ama v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav. Huya say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn. Comfort to all the bereaved among us here and everywhere. Together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru imru. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
It's good to see so many of you as a part of our services on this evening. And so a few things to share as you prepare to send us your Tish questions, if you want, to the YouTube platform. Of course, we have services tomorrow morning at 10:30 and bat mitzvah of Lila Must at 9:15. We have our Torah study, our Tish. On Sunday morning, our 10 o'clock minyan. And on Monday morning, we have our Monday morning musings. Oh, someone's come to greet me right now. Sorry. Let's see. Other things. Hey, I'm curious how you all are being civically engaged, what you're doing important on Tuesday, how you're spending your day. I know a lot of people have already voted. And if you have or you're prepared to vote, do us a favor. Log on through Facebook or through the email that went out yesterday to our Shir Shalom community, because Rabbi Daniel, we're in a competition with our colleagues, both locally and out of state as well, right? So Rabbi's roommate from rabbinical school, Benji Barlev, is the senior rabbi in Columbus at Temple Beth Shalom in Columbus, Ohio, which some people know houses a university, not to be mentioned here in Michigan. So the wager is whoever gets more congregants to vote on Tuesday or leading up to Tuesday, as many of us have already done. When we win this, they have to wear University of Michigan and Michigan State gear on game day on the Bema and send us that photo and post it. I'm not going to say what's going to happen to Rabbi and me if they get more votes than we do, because that's not going to happen because of all of your help. So help us out there. We're also doing this with the rabbis in our community. Many of the synagogues are participating. Temple Israel and Beth Shalom, I saw, are a part of this as well. Again, you have the opportunity to make us look good by voting. So we know you're voting. It's important to vote. It's our responsibility. It's our blessing. And so please, not only vote, but then also let us know, right? Good stuff. So few questions. How are we doing in the early voting versus the Ohio Temple? So as of now, Rabbi, how many people have voted so far who've told us they voted at Temple Shir Shalom?
So far, we have a little over 200 people who have said that they voted at Shir Shalom.
Excellent. If you notice the picture of me, I'm wearing both Michigan and Michigan State garb because I'm nonpartisan. Well, it's true. And I want to support all. And that goes to the next question that was asked. What advice can you give about how we move through these next 4 days and after the election as well? I think one of our challenges right now, there's an article in the Washington Post last week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, about how people are seeing the other side as evil, that both sides are seeing the other side as evil, and that we're neglecting the opportunity to see, the good in other people, no matter what they might believe. And, Rabbi Daniel gave a great sermon on Rosh Hashanah and talked about instead of judging other people, being curious about their perspective. And I think we have to go back to that. The reality that more of us aren't in synagogue together today, or even before the pandemic, I think we lose the opportunity being shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, and having conversations that naturally would occur in previous generations. And we're missing out on that and seeing the humanity in both of our views when we don't agree with one another. And I think that's what we have to focus on after Tuesday, because again, I believe, and we'll see if my colleagues want to echo or share, the greatness in this country still exists. And I'm reminded about how far we have come. No matter where you think we are today, how far we've come, and how bad things have been in history and how despicable people have behaved. I'm talking 500, 1,000 years ago. There are great challenges in our world that we want to move to eradicate, right? And to make our world better. And that's our responsibility. But we still have a lot of good to honor and celebrate right now too. Rabbi?
Good answer.
Take a sip of my wine, sorry.
It's like Family Feud. Good answer. No, I agree with what you shared, and nothing more to add.
Nothing more. I guess that's sage for you at this moment. 25 years ago today, Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated. 25,000 candles were kindled in Rabin Square in Tel Aviv today to mark this day, the 25th of Cheshvan. Today's the Hebrew date. He was assassinated on November 4th, 1995. So today's the Hebrew date. And I was thinking a lot about that today and about the power of him and his transformation, right? And some of the things that he may have done in his past that many of us will look at and say, that doesn't resonate with our Jewish values, but how far he came and why I'm so disappointed in AOC's not attending the Peace Now program honoring his legacy that's happening next week, right? Peace Now, which is a very progressive organization supporting peace in Israel and a two-state solution, honoring Yitzhak Rabin, a general who became a pacifist, who said, he said in his line when he stood with Yasser Arafat at the White House, enough blood is on our hands, right? One of my favorite photos of Yitzhak Rabin is the one when the peace accords were signed with Jordan in 1994, I think it was, and where he is lighting King Hussein's cigarette. And they're sitting together smoking. I'm not promoting smoking. They were of a different generation. But it was something about these two men, these two warriors, and them just being friends together. And this week, something remarkable happened at APAC, our event this past week. A number of really brilliant speakers, but the one that inspired me the most was the foreign minister, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan of United Arab Emirates. And he addressed this Jewish community and talked about when he met the foreign minister from Israel, Mr. Ashkenazi. They met in Berlin. And it was the Highness Sheikh Abdullah who said, we need to go to the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Berlin. And he was asked, why did you make that, something of such importance to you in your delegation? He said, we need to understand each other. We need to know each other's history, each other's, not just culture and religion, but each other's history and why sometimes that impacts how we make decisions so that we can share with one another. I thought he was such a powerful speaker in him being present with his Jewish community. So again, that gives me hope right now too, despite the things that frustrate and upset me right now. Anyone else can jump in. Cantor Rabbi, just feeling good. It's nice to be together. I'll tell you what, our Shabbat helps me in our week, right? In the hecticness, craziness, frustrations, in the angst that we're feeling. Someone texted me today, a friend texted me during services that we're all having challenges. We're all having trouble sleeping these days. We're all stressed. Meditation, time like this helps us. It helps us. It reminds us of the blessings that we do have, reminds us of the values that we have, reminds us of our responsibility. I hope that not only are you all voting, but that you're doing things that are civically engaged, whether you're working polls, whether you're helping in ways that, driving. I was asked today to drive some senior citizens to polls on Tuesday. If you're looking for something to do, please, text one of us. We have people very involved who can help find maybe opportunities for you to get involved too. So, okay. Yes, Cantor.
Yeah, well, I came across something on the internet that made really good sense. And that is that if everybody called one of their cousins or texted somebody they know and just say, make sure you vote, that would be a good thing.
Please, everyone. Yeah, we all need to. Of course, we've all gotten dozens of texts every day and emails, but yes, we got to vote. Look, I wear a yarmulke when I vote. I wear my kippah because my papa, who came from Russia, taught me and our family the value of something that sometimes as Jews, we were not allowed to do. And it's not something we can never take for granted. We have to celebrate, honor, and really relish. And it's a privilege that we have that we will honor in the voting that we do this week. So with that in mind, we give thanks for the sweetness of our time together. Mine is not official Kiddush wine, but I'll still drink it because why not? It's been nice together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Amen l'chaim. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless us. May God protect us.
יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה.
May God shine upon you, and may God shine through you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May God always be a part of who we are, giving us vision and insight and strength to see the good in one another and help bring that into our world. And most of all, especially this week, bless us with shalom, with peace in our heart and our mind, so that we are able to bring more peace into our world.
וישם לך שלום.
God shalom.